My iPhone.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
This is my daughter Callie. I'm Howie.
I hate a Laffy Taffy.
Oh gosh.
Wasn't that good?
I don't know. Maybe I should cut that out. I'm not sure. All right. Hi everyone. I'm Howie.
I hate Laffy Taffy.
This is Callie. She's 8. It's
Yep.
my daughter. So this is.
Everybody, you should know he's reading his lines off of the paper.
All right, so this is the DukeGEN networking event intro video for those of you that are interested in hosting and possibly attending a DukeGEN networking event. I'm here to give you a background on kind of what the event came from and what it's all about, and its history and kind of the goals. So let's get started. So the DukeGEN networking event started in 2000. It started in 2009, and basically it came from a couple different threads. One was the goal of DukeGEN, the Duke Global Entrepreneurship Network, is to make productive connections. So, we think that to make productive connections around entrepreneurship for Duke alums, it's easiest to do that in person. That's kind of true in general, that in person is better than virtually, say on Facebook or LinkedIn. So we wanted to help Duke alums interested in entrepreneurship in their cities create local connections with other Duke alums. A second thread is that in 2009, at that point, I had run approximately 100 entrepreneurship events, mostly locally here in the Durham area. And so kind of just knew the power of entrepreneurship events. And the third thing is that we were exposed to the MIT Enterprise Forum. The MIT Enterprise Forum has been around for about 30 years. And I had helped run a couple of events under a model that they did at the time, which was they did a centralized webcast and then asked local chapters of the Enterprise Forum to host viewing parties of that centralized webcast. And I guess what we found is that it was an interesting concept, but it wasn't very compelling for the local chapters to host a viewing party of an event televised webcast from another location. So it was an interesting model that ended up kind of being one of the things that led to the DukeGEN networking events. So what are the DukeGEN networking events? The idea is that Duke alums and students in their cities can get together with each other and connect in person. That's basically it. And all the other parameters around it are pretty flexible. So for example, we don't specify a particular format for a particular city. I think our baseline format is very simple, and partly this just comes from where DukeGEN was at the time, which is all volunteers, all Duke alumni volunteers, no budget. So the basic DukeGEN event is really a free event with no budget run by volunteers that works for anywhere from a small audience of 10 people to a big audience of 100 people. And what that event format looks like is just a straight up networking event. Typically what that means is the event runs from 6 to 8 p.m. It's all networking. We provide name badges for people, and it's literally just about meeting other people. It's usually done at a bar or restaurant for free, cash bar. What we're telling the bar or restaurant is, we're about to bring 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 people here. Can we host it there? A lot of times they'll ask, oh, is this a private event? In which case there will be a minimum cover charge or a minimum charge of $1,000 or something like that. And we say it doesn't have to be private. We're fine with other people, kind of other patrons being here. And usually for most part, they're just like, okay, that's fine. So that's what it is. The basic event is a pure networking event for Duke people to connect to other Duke people. We have other versions of this event, which people have figured out, and and we're basically event format agnostic. So if you want to bring in some more formalized connecting, maybe everybody introduces themselves and maybe you're sitting around the table, that's fine. If you want the name badges to have more information, like some of our name badges, they have like little colored dots, and the colored dot means a different interest. Maybe red means you're interested in tech entrepreneurship, blue means you're interested in healthcare entrepreneurship. So it makes it a little bit easier to find other people with similar interests. That's also fine. If you want to go even more formal and add, say, like a local speaker or a local panel, things like that, that's also fine. We tend to just say, since it's a Duke audience, you probably want to bring in a Duke speaker or Duke panel. It doesn't have to be, but that's generally what we say. But again, it's up to you as the local volunteer event organizer to decide what is the format for your panel. What we do centrally is that we help to market and organize, get the word out about the events more centrally. So we set a date. Usually it's, we have one event in March, one event in August, one event in November. Let's say we pick August 10th, and we tell all the city organizers, we're going to host this August 10th. We tell all of our alumni and students on our lists, we say, check out an event in your city on August 10th, and then we manage all the event RSVP pages. So we centralize that process, the marketing and the date selection, but then a lot of everything else is really up to you. One question that I often get from organizers is like, what kind of audience can I expect? And what I would say is we find the most success in the most entrepreneurial focused cities. So San Francisco and New York City are really tops in terms of attendance, and also the highest Duke population city. It makes sense. This is an event for Duke people, and it's meant to make Duke to Duke connections. And so San Francisco regularly draws 50 to 200 people to events. New York City regularly draws, say, 30 to 150 people to events. And then I would say, the next kind of grouping under that would be like cities that have pretty strong tech or startup ecosystems: Boston, Atlanta, Seattle, Los Angeles, Austin, Texas, the Washington, D.C., Northern Virginia area. Those tend to do pretty well. It's a high variance game. Sometimes things just don't work out and you only get 5 people at your event. Sometimes things in those cities work out really well and you end up getting 30 to 50 people at those events. So that's kind of just generally where attendance is for those kinds of events. I'd say the last thing I want to say is, the whole idea for this set of events was based around the idea that to create these communities of Duke alums interested in entrepreneurship in different cities like San Francisco and New York City, you need some level of consistency and some just some longevity to what we're doing. So we chose 3 times a year: March, August, November, like I said before, because we felt like that felt doable, that felt like that was a reasonable enough pace that we can continue it for many years, and here we are 10 years later still continuing it, but it's frequent enough that you get to know people, hopefully, better than just kind of a one-time event. So we have people that have come for years to these events, and we also have many first-time attendees. It's pretty typical, actually, at a DukeGEN event for us to ask the question, how many people is this your first time coming to a DukeGEN event? And I would guess that for most events, it's usually about 50% of attendees, it's their first time. So we're doing what we can to just help create that connectivity, that connective tissue, for there to be local Duke to Duke alumni connections that are made in person. So those are the DukeGEN networking events. Thank you so much if you're one of the people that's offering to host one of these events. And thank you if you're one of the people that is planning to attend the event. We hope you have a great time, and please feel free to reach out to us and let us know anything that you can think of. Anything else you want to say, Callie?
No.
Okay. Bye.